Hi and welcome to 5 minutes with Kvesti, or whatever I will call this. I thought this before I published my worst review and I haven't decided what I will call these reviews. So this is either 5 minutes with Kvesti or something else. My Mass Effect addiction got so bad that I play these games faster than I publish videos. I'm very bad at these first-person shooters or action RPGs. I play them for the story and I play them on easy difficulty, so these reviews concentrate on the story and how they feel on easy difficulty. I played Mass Effect 2 with all the DLCs, I finished all the loyalty quests and I didn't bother to finish too much of the additional quests. I liked first game a lot, but second game is even better. What I didn't like in first game that much was the driving sections, and those are away from the core game. But if you buy DLCs or download the free DLC Firewalker, you get some driving. Firewalker is platformer in Mass Effect style. Then Overlord have some driving sections, and Shadow Broker DLC have little driving section in them, but all the driving sections are away from the core game and of the rest of the DLCs, which is a good game, even though driving is better in these DLCs, but it's not on the level of the rest of the game. Firewalker is free DLC. It's mostly this driving platformer thing. You can get it because it's free, and if you want something different between quests. I made mistake and completed all the Firewalker missions back to back, and then completing Overlord, which had driving sections, and this driving and platformer thing started to feel wrong and boring. Like I said, it's not on the level of the rest of the game. Firewalker is basically driving and platforming. Overlord has more story and more regular game. Overlord's story was good, but I'm not sure if it's worth the money, and because it has this driving section. It's a good story, but it's not that good otherwise. Kazumi DLC brings new character to your group, which makes it the best DLC of this package. The story, it's okay, but the Kazumi is the best character and my favorite character. I used her all the time after I got her. Shadow Broker, on story-wise, it's the best one of these, but it don't bring a new character or anything any other big things for the game, but the story is good. Mass Effect 2 changed the core mechanics from the first game. First game was more like Knights of the Old Republic, and second game is more action RPG. These changes were good mostly, and I understand why they made them. On casual level, game got better. It got just enough difficulty for me that I enjoyed the game. There was only one mission that felt like they didn't have time to make a good map, and then they add more enemies than usually. There were 3 or 4 times the enemies of the usual mission, and that felt like grinding, which I didn't like, but all the other missions worked better. And what made this one mission even more grinding was that next mission, which you got from this one mission, It didn't have almost any enemies and it was pretty easy. First game was easy to play as good guy. Second game isn't as easy. There are times when you want to do bad things and one loyalty mission requires you to be the bad guy. And some of these philosophical things where you have to make hard decisions feel more real and you have only bad choices in second game when in the first game it was easier to choose the good guy solution. Mass Effect 2 became one of my favorite games. I played something like 40 hours and spent almost every free time I could with the game. And after I finished it, I had to start the third game, which I review later. There was only one thing I didn't like, which was that they changed some buttons doing different things than before. I don't see any reason why they did that. For example, quick save in first game is F6 and quick save in second game is F5. And then there were a couple other things they changed. It wasn't big deal after you get used to these new controls, but coming straight out of first game, it felt odd that they changed controls. I didn't see any problem with controls on first game, but that was their choice and they made it. It didn't change how much I liked the game, but it's a minor complaint. I mentioned field of view thing in Mass Effect review. You can't change the field of view in game, but there's easy hack for all the 3 games which let you change the field of view. You probably shouldn't do that for the third game if you play multiplayer, but if you play only the single campaign, then I recommend it. It helped me and it made game more enjoyable. I put link to that hack on the description, you can find it there. That was it for this time. See you next time.